Hello, and welcome to English Avenue Podcast.
Your cozy place to learn easy English through real-life conversations and slowly level up your life at the same time. I'm Anna.
And I am Jake. And today, I want to start with a very scary moment.
Oh no, are we talking about spiders or Monday mornings?
Worse, we are talking about when it is your turn to speak in front of people.
Ah, yes, the horror movie.
You are in a meeting or in class or on a video call, and suddenly someone says, "Okay, can you share your opinion?"
Your brain, of course. Your body, we are leaving.
Exactly. Your heart is doing cardio, your hands are a little sweaty, and your mouth is like, "Hi, I forgot how to make sentences."
And sometimes English learners tell us, in my head, my English is fine, but when I speak in front of people, I sound like a different person.
And then you go home and think, why did I sound so nervous? I knew what I wanted to say.
If this happens to you, you are not broken and you are not bad at English. You are just human.
Because often the problem is not vocabulary. It is how you feel inside the moment you open your mouth.
And that's what we want to talk about today. How to sound more confident and calm when you speak, without changing your whole personality.
In English, we sometimes talk about how you come across to other people. Come across means the feeling people get from you. Do you come across as shy, scared, confused, or calm, clear, and confident?
And here's a little secret. You do not need to be loud or super funny to come across as confident. You need a few small skills in your words, your body, and your voice. Tiny habits.
So today's episode is not how to become the most powerful speaker in the world in 7 days.
Yeah, sorry, no magic button, no download confidence app.
I would still buy that app, though.
Same.
So today is about simple things that help you stop disappearing inside your own sentence and start sounding like you actually believe what you are saying.
And of course, we'll do it in English you can really use. This is a B2 level episode.
So the language will be a bit richer and more natural, but we will still speak clearly, repeat important ideas, and explain new vocabulary the first time we use it.
And of course, if you're a strong B1 listener, you are very welcome here too. Some parts might feel a little challenging. That's normal. You can always listen again and you'll catch more each time.
And if speaking in front of people already makes your stomach dance, do not worry. This episode is not here to make you feel bad. It's here to help you feel a little more calm, a little more composed every time you speak.
So do not run away just because we said meetings and presentations. Stay, breathe, listen. You're safe here.
Exactly. We'll walk through it slowly together, step by step.
All right, before we jump in, just a small request.
If you enjoy learning English through real topics like this, please like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and maybe share it with one friend who also feels nervous when they speak. You probably know at least one.
And in the comments, we have a little reflection challenge for you.
We want you to finish one sentence. When I have to speak in front of other people, I feel, and then add one more sentence. One communication habit I want to build this year is...
You can be honest, you can be funny, you can be serious. It is okay to say, I feel scared, or I feel shy, or I feel excited, if that is true for you. This is a judgment-free zone.
And when you write that, you practice your English and you also understand your own speaking story a little better.
And near the end, we will also do a small word tour. We will take some useful words from today and explain them slowly with examples so you can really use them.
So stay with us till the end if you want to grow your English and your communication vocabulary at the same time.
But first, let us start with a story from Jake, how he could speak perfect English in exams, but still felt his voice shake in real meetings.
Yeah, this part is a little painful, but very true. In university, I was really good at English exams. I could write essays, do presentations, get good grades, all of that.
Okay, brainy boy.
Yeah, on paper, I looked very confident. But then I got my first real job, and everything changed.
What happened?
I remember my first big meeting. 10 people in a room, serious faces, big table. And my manager said, "Jake, what do you think?" And in that moment, my English left the building.
Your English went home early.
Exactly. My heart was loud, my voice was quiet, and I started speaking with all these soft little phrases. Maybe, I'm not sure, but, kind of. Even I did not trust my own sentence.
And I guess after the meeting, you felt bad about it.
Yeah, I went home and thought, how is it possible I can speak so well in an exam, but in real life I sound so unsure?
That hurts.
But there was something interesting in that room. One of my colleagues spoke after me. His English was not more advanced than mine. In some ways, his grammar was more simple. But when he spoke, everyone listened.
Same room, same topic, completely different feeling.
Yes, and that was the first time I really noticed it. The difference was not only what we said, but how we said it.
And I think we all know people like your colleague. They start speaking, and without doing anything dramatic, the whole room just naturally pays attention.
Yes, they might use simple words, but there is something steady in the way they talk. They sound very credible, even if their grammar is not perfect.
Credible is a great word here. When someone is credible, you feel they are believable and trustworthy. You think, okay, I can take this person seriously, even if their language is quite simple.
Right. They do not rush. They do not make nervous jokes every 2 seconds. They give one clear sentence, they pause, and people stop looking at their laptop and start looking at them.
I love people like that. They open their mouth, and within a few seconds, you already feel, all right, this person is worth listening to.
Yes, they come across as confident, even though they are not shouting or doing anything dramatic.
When we say someone comes across as confident, we mean that is the impression they give to other people. That is how they look and sound from the outside, even if we do not know what is happening inside them.
Exactly. It's almost like their body and their voice are quietly saying, "Relax, I know what I'm talking about," before the sentence is even finished.
And this is really good news for our listeners because you do not need a huge, loud personality to come across as confident. You just need to stop a few habits that quietly weaken your message.
And that takes us to the next big problem, when we speak more for approval than for clarity.
Yeah, so many learners tell us, I don't want to sound rude, and then they remove all the strength from their sentence.
Right. They start with ideas like, "This might be a stupid question, but," or "Maybe I'm wrong, but," and they weaken their message before they even share it.
It's like they're trying to protect themselves in advance in case someone doesn't like their idea.
And the more you do that, the less assertive you sound.
Assertive is a really useful word. If you are assertive, you say what you think in a clear, calm way. You're not rude or aggressive, but you're also not apologizing for your opinion every 5 seconds.
Yes, you respect other people and you also respect your own voice.
And the problem is, many of us are not assertive because we're secretly intimidated.
Right. If you feel intimidated, you feel small or nervous because of a person or situation. Maybe it's your boss, maybe it's someone with very fluent English, or maybe it's just a very serious, quiet room.
Oof, I have definitely felt that. You enter the room feeling normal, then you see everyone in suits with clever faces, and suddenly your natural personality hides behind the chair.
Exactly. Your fun, relaxed self goes on holiday, and your scared robot self comes to the meeting.
Yes, and then, of course, your words sound weaker because your goal is not say something useful. Your goal is, please don't judge me.
And when "please like me" becomes the main goal, your message is going to suffer.
Yeah, which is why we need to go one level deeper and talk about what's happening in your mind before you even open your mouth.
I think this is a huge point. Many people blame their English, but actually the problem is that their thoughts are not organized.
Right. You can feel it when someone is speaking and you hear them searching for their idea while they are already talking.
Exactly. I always imagine a brain like a drawer. For some people, that drawer is neat. For others, it is full of tangled cables, old chargers, and mystery objects from 2012.
Yes, you open it and think, what is all of this?
And if you pull any cable at random, everything comes out in a knot. That is what happens when you talk without a clear thought first.
So, the problem is not always vocabulary. Sometimes the problem is that the idea itself is still a knot.
Exactly. Confident speakers are usually more deliberate with their words.
And deliberate simply means you do something on purpose, not by accident. You choose your words instead of throwing them in every direction.
One tiny habit that helps is to take a 1-second pause before you speak and ask yourself, what is my point in one simple sentence?
Right. That pause is not weakness. That pause is you organizing the drawer before you pull the cable.
And in some situations, it is not just your thoughts you need to check. You also need to quickly read the room.
Yes. If you read the room, you notice the mood and energy around you. Are people tired, stressed, relaxed, ready to joke, or very serious?
When you read the room and know your main point, your sentence is much more focused and much more useful.
And of course, all of this becomes harder when emotions are high and the room feels tense.
Yeah, because it's easy to sound wise when you're relaxed at home. The real test for confidence is when something or someone pressures you.
Exactly. When someone disagrees or raises their voice or you feel judged, suddenly your good communication habits can disappear.
In those moments, many people speak faster, their voice goes higher, and their message becomes less clear.
That is why being composed is so important.
Right. If you're composed, you stay calm and in control even when the situation is difficult. You still feel emotion, but you don't let it drive your mouth.
I like to picture it like this. Your emotions can sit in the car with you, but they are not allowed to touch the steering wheel.
Yeah, they can complain in the back seat, but they don't choose the road.
Oh, I remember sending an angry message once. The second I pressed send, I knew it was my emotional brain driving, not my wise brain.
I've done that too, and you wish you could jump into the app and pull the message back.
Now, when I feel that heat in my body, I give myself one slow breath before I answer.
That one breath sounds small, but it gives you just enough space to ask, what do I actually want my words to do here?
Right, and that question already makes you more intentional and less reactive.
And when you're less reactive, it's much easier to keep your sentences clear and your tone respectful, even in conflict.
And of course, even if your emotions are calm and your idea is clear, there's another trap: saying too much. When we feel nervous, many of us start to talk and talk and talk.
Yeah, and I am definitely in that group. When I feel unsure, I keep adding extra details because I secretly think my first sentence was not enough.
Right, and a lot of learners do the same. They say the important thing, and then they cover it with 10 more sentences because silence feels uncomfortable.
That is why learning to be concise is such an important communication skill.
If you are concise, you are clear and short, but your message is still complete. You do not give a whole novel when a paragraph would be enough.
And when people are not concise, there's another pattern. They beat around the bush instead of saying what they really mean.
Yeah, to beat around the bush means you avoid the main point and talk in circles around it.
For example, instead of saying, we have a problem with this plan, you say, well, I'm not sure, but maybe there's a small thing that we could possibly look at again?
And by the time you finish that sentence, nobody is sure what you are actually trying to say, including you.
Exactly. It's like hiding a small, important gift inside 15 boxes.
And by the time they arrive at the gift, they're tired and confused.
So being concise is not cold. It's actually kinder because you respect the listener's time and energy.
And even when your words are concise and strong, people are still watching something else very closely, your body and your voice.
Yeah, because before you say a word, your body and your face already say something.
Exactly. People notice how you sit, where your eyes go, whether you look open or closed, relaxed or ready to run away.
If your words say, "I'm confident," but your shoulders say, "Please do not look at me," people will believe your shoulders.
Your shoulders are very honest.
They really are.
And confidence in your body does not always mean big, dramatic movements. Sometimes it just means you are still and present.
Yeah, not frozen like a statue, but also not moving every 2 seconds and playing with your pen, your phone, your clothes.
Sometimes real confidence is simply being able to hold your ground when you speak.
If you hold your ground, you do not suddenly shrink or disappear when someone disagrees or looks serious. You stay where you are, calm but firm.
I like to imagine a tree with deep roots. The wind can move the leaves, but the tree itself stays in place.
I love that image. It's exactly how we want to feel when we talk.
Me too.
When I was younger, I was the opposite of that tree. If I felt nervous, I adjusted my clothes and moved in my chair every 10 seconds. It only showed everyone that I was uncomfortable.
My version was touching my hair all the time, which also did not help.
So the goal is not to look perfect like a movie star. The goal is to look at home in your own body while you're speaking.
And when that happens, when your body stops fighting your message, your voice can finally support your message instead of weakening it.
A lot of people think a strong voice just means a loud voice, but that's not true.
Right. If you only increase your volume, you might sound angry or stressed, not confident.
What really matters is how your voice carries the thought. It's about staying present from the first word to the last word.
I love that. Carry the sentence. It's like your voice is holding the meaning all the way to the end.
Exactly. If something is important to you, your voice should not start strong and then die at the end.
But many people do exactly that. They begin with energy, and then they finish the sentence in a very quiet, apologizing way.
It sounds like, "I think this is a good idea." Maybe. Never mind.
Yes, and people remember the never mind feeling more than the idea.
If you slow your pace a little and breathe properly, your voice usually becomes more stable and confident without any shouting.
And slower does not mean boring. Slower can sound serious, thoughtful, and powerful.
And when your thoughts, emotions, body, and voice all support the same message, you get to the real heart of confidence.
Which brings us to our final piece. At this point, you can probably feel that confidence is not just one trick. It is all of these pieces working together.
Yeah, and this is where many people get confused. They think confidence means being the loudest or funniest person in the room.
Or they feel they have to act like a completely different character, and then it feels fake and exhausting.
Exactly. Real confidence feels less like a performance and more like alignment.
And alignment here means that your thoughts, your emotions, your words, your body, and your voice are all on the same team instead of fighting each other.
And when that happens, you naturally come across as more composed, more assertive, and more credible, even if your grammar is not perfect.
Not because you are pretending to be confident, but because you are not attacking yourself while you speak.
Exactly. You stop running away from your own voice and start standing beside it.
And I honestly believe people trust you more when you sound like you trust yourself.
I completely agree. That one idea can change the way you speak in every area of your life.
So, if you are listening and thinking, I am not confident, maybe the better question is, which part of my communication is out of alignment right now?
Is it your thoughts, your emotions, your words, your body, or your voice? You do not need to fix everything in one day. You can work on one small thing at a time.
And every time you do that, every time you hold your ground a little more or speak with a little more conviction, you build real confidence, sentence by sentence.
And that's the kind of confidence that doesn't disappear when the exam is over or the meeting ends. It stays with you.
Exactly. And that's the confidence we want for you.
All right, let us slow things down now. We used some powerful words and phrases in today's episode, and we want to help you really remember them.
Yeah, this is our word tour. We take a few useful words from the episode, explain them again slowly, and give you clear examples so you can use them in your own life.
Yes, you can just listen, or you can shadow and repeat with us. Take a breath, relax your shoulders, and enjoy this part.
First, a calm power word, composed.
Composed means calm and in control, especially when things are stressful or emotional. You still feel the stress, but you don't let it control how you speak.
For example, even when the client was shouting, she stayed composed and answered every question clearly.
Or, he sounded composed during the interview, even though he was nervous inside. Repeat, composed.
Composed. Now, a word for clear and kind strength. Assertive.
Assertive means you say what you think or need in a clear, confident, and respectful way. You're not aggressive and you're not hiding.
For example, she was assertive in the meeting and said she could not take another project this week.
Or, being assertive helped him set healthy boundaries with his manager. Repeat, assertive.
Assertive. Next, a word about trust. Credible.
Credible means believable and trustworthy. When someone is credible, people think, I can rely on what this person is saying.
For example, her presentation was simple but very credible because she shared real numbers and real examples.
Or, if you want people to follow your idea, you need to sound like a credible voice in the room. Repeat, credible.
Now a word for being careful on purpose. Deliberate.
Deliberate means done on purpose, with intention, not by accident.
For example, she took a deliberate pause before answering the difficult question.
Or, good communicators are deliberate with their words. They do not just talk to fill the silence. Repeat, deliberate.
Deliberate. Here comes a word about being clear and short. Concise.
Concise means clear and short, but still complete. You say what is necessary, and you cut the extra noise.
For example, his email was concise, but it still included all the important details.
Or, in a busy meeting, a concise answer often sounds more confident than a long story. Repeat, concise.
Concise. Now a feeling word many of us know too well. Intimidated.
Intimidated means you feel nervous, weak, or smaller because of a person or situation.
For example, she felt intimidated in the interview because all the other candidates had more experience.
Or, at first, he was intimidated by native speakers, but over time, he became more relaxed. Repeat, intimidated.
Intimidated. Now a phrase about the image you give. Come across as.
Come across as means the impression you give to other people, how you seem from the outside.
For example, he comes across as confident even when he is a bit unsure inside.
Or, in emails, she sometimes comes across as cold, although she is friendly in person. Repeat, come across as.
Come across as. Now a social superpower phrase. Read the room.
Read the room means notice the mood and energy of the people around you before you speak or act.
For example, a good leader reads the room and knows when to joke and when to be serious.
Or, if you do not read the room, you might say something at a very bad moment. Repeat, read the room.
Read the room. Now, a phrase for quiet strength. Hold your ground.
Hold your ground means stay firm and not back down when there is pressure. You stay calm, but you do not give up your position too quickly.
For example, she held her ground and calmly repeated that the deadline was not realistic.
Or, even when the client raised his voice, he held his ground without shouting back. Repeat, hold your ground.
Hold your ground. Now a word for when everything works together as a team. Alignment.
Alignment means things are in the right position with each other and moving in the same direction. In our episode, alignment is when your thoughts, emotions, words, body, and voice all support the same message instead of fighting each other.
For example, when she stopped doubting herself, her body language and her words finally came into alignment.
Or, real confidence comes from alignment between what you think and what you say. Repeat, alignment.
Alignment. And finally, a phrase for talking in circles. Beat around the bush.
Beat around the bush means avoid the real topic and talk in circles instead of saying something directly.
For example, stop beating around the bush and tell me what you really think.
Or, when he is nervous, he beats around the bush instead of asking the real question. Repeat, beat around the bush.
Beat around the bush. So, that was our word tour for today.
If you want to remember these words, try to use one or two of them today, even in a very simple sentence.
Yeah, you can also practice in the comments. Write one short sentence using any of today's words, like assertive, composed, credible, or hold your ground. We will read them, and you will train your English at the same time.
And if this episode helped you feel a little clearer about confident communication, please like the video, subscribe, and maybe share it with a friend who also feels nervous when they speak.
You can always come back to this episode, listen again, and shadow the parts you like. Let it be quiet practice for your future confident self.
Thank you for spending this time with us and for working on your English and your confidence together.
This is Anna.
This is Jake.
And you have been listening to the English Leap podcast. Bye!
Your progress doesn't end here. To continue advancing your English skills, click on the next video or explore the additional videos we've thoughtfully selected for you.